Hi everyone, my name is Zard and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be taking a look at LEGO Star Wars set number 75388. This is the 305-piece Jedi Starfighter. It's also a $40 set, which is quite a bit for a Jedi Starfighter, but also speaking of that, we are getting what is supposed to be a $45 Jedi Starfighter next year, with I believe the same amount of figures. So they seem to be going up $5 each year. And they don't really have much more to offer each year. But this is Jedi Bob Starfighter. Jedi Bob, of course, released in 2002 with the Republic gunship. The figures become quite sought after and quite a figure in the LEGO Star Wars YouTube community, and is represented here in his Jedi Starfighter from Rebuild the Galaxy, a special that will be releasing on Disney+. There's three figures in this set, of course, Jedi Bob, the Akbar Trooper, which I believe is a clone trooper variant in this special, as well as SRVO Servo, the Gonk droid. So two minifigures and then a buildable character. Not a ton of value there, but the value in this set is, of course, in Jedi Bob. The ship itself is very solid. It's a very well done Jedi Starfighter. I think the build was as good of a Jedi Starfighter build as it can be. Of course, it's not all that different from your normal Jedi Starfighter, but it does have some different things. The blasters on the side, the thrusters at the front. They improved some things from the last Jedi Starfighter, Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. I think that one had much better in the minifigure department, like a lot better in the minifigure department. But this one's build is very solid and makes improvements upon that last one, which you want to see. You know, you're 25 years into this thing. You want to see improvements made. And I think they have done that in the build with this one. So starting with the characters, Servo is just a basic Gonk droid build using a mix of a bunch of different pieces, a little bit of print. Not interesting really whatsoever. Not really even a minifigure, just a additional character. And yeah, I don't know. I would have preferred like a cool printed astromech, but I don't know what's going on in this special Rebuild the Galaxy. So maybe Servo was some amazing thing that I haven't yet known. But next, the Akbar Trooper, just the normal Phase 1, Phase 2 clone body with a Admiral Akbar head atop of it. And yeah, it looks fine. It's exactly what you would expect, I guess, with an Akbar Trooper. It's a trooper with an Akbar head. And then the big guy, Jedi Bob, who I really like this figure. I honestly don't care really much for Jedi Bob. It's just not something that's ever really interested me. I'd much prefer just cool new characters. And like Jedi Bob has just never been something that has overly interested me. But I think this figure is very well done. His robes are all tattered, his face is as well to show 23 years of wear on this minifigure. He uses a brown spongy cape piece, as well as the older brown hood piece, and then just plain brown legs and a green lightsaber. I think in addition to this figure, that would have been really nice is bringing back some sort of chrome lightsaber hilt. I think that would have been really fun. He does have a secondary face print. This is of course very reminiscent of the original figure, and then more of a stern look as a secondary face. I think it's a really fun figure, but really not one that's going to highlight my collection or anything like that. It's just, it is what it is. It's an alright figure. I think it's great to get Jedi Bob out, but I still think this would have been much better as a promotional set instead of a full release. But of course, given the special and his appearance in it, it makes sense to get this as an actual set. If that special didn't exist, I don't think this set should exist whatsoever. It should be some sort of promo to include the character. But as the special does exist, I think it's totally reasonable that they made a set about it. The thrusters at the front are built up. I think they look all right, as well as on the back, a few more. There's a decent amount of stickers included on the wings of this set. I think those look nice. I think the wings are really nice. One thing that really improved on the Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter is that one had a very large and sizable gap between this section of the wings as well as the middle section of the ship. They've really covered that up and improved that significantly. With this one, it's going to be symmetrical on either side of it. And then there's a sticker right at the front, which is a compartment of this set where you're going to find a unprinted blue milk carton, as well as a banana. I guess Bob gets hungry on his 23 years of adventures. A couple sticker right there, and I think the color of it is quite nice. I really like the blasters along the sides of it. I think that really makes it different and interesting from what we've seen in the past. I think the angle at the back is nice as well. Into the cockpit, you have a nice little seating area for Bob. A big space. This thing is sturdy. It's very strong, but when you look at the base, it looks very, very thin. Landing gear there, or at least some sort of stump at the back, and then actual proper moving landing gear right at the bottom. And yeah, it's built up like you would expect any Jedi Starfighter that's released in really the last 20 years. It's very much not different than anything we've really seen before, but it does definitely improve on the most recent Jedi Starfighter, which is great. You know, you want to see improvement, and I think that one definitely does it. So, Jedi Bob's Jedi Starfighter, I think, is a solid Lego Star Wars set. It's going to definitely cater towards those who like Jedi Bob, who are interested in him. This is not a set that necessarily interests me, saying that I did buy the thing, but I do very much like the build. The look of it it's a cool looking Jedi Starfighter. I like cool looking Jedi Starfighters. This is definitely it there. Jedi Bombs himself, amazing minifigure. I think they did it perfectly. I think they executed the minifigure pretty much perfectly. I didn't want a re-release of the original figure. They didn't do that here. They changed it up and they gave him wear as if he had been out just collecting dust and wear for 23 years, and I think that's very cool. The other two characters are pretty boring. They're nothing special. Of course, in the last one, the Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter, not going to talk about Yoda's, with that being an interceptor, but that one was even worse in the minifigure department. But this one is better than that, but definitely not as good as the Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter, which introduced the new Taunwi mold, an amazing Obi-Wan figure, R4. It was an amazing set, a really cool looking Jedi Starfighter. This one definitely improves it, especially on that spacing between the wings. But I can't recommend this set, especially at its regular price. On sale, $10, $15 off, definitely would recommend it. But at that $40 price, it does not feel substantial enough at that price in every department, really. I don't think Jedi Bob is worth $40. I don't think this ship itself is worth $40. It's definitely strong, it looks cool, it's just, it doesn't feel like a $40 Lego set. It feels like a $25, $30 Lego set, and of course the times of Jedi Starfighters being at that price are gone. They're never going to return. This is the new normal when it comes to a Jedi Starfighter price. But moving forward, I think you need to get more value out of these, because I don't think the ship themselves provide the needed value. Of course, next year we're going to get a Jedi Interceptor. Those feel substantial very much in the middle section. It's just the proportions are different, whereas this one's going to be very much longer than that. But I think the substance in them feels about the same. The rumored minifigures in that one, I believe, are Ahsoka, Anakin, as well as Ahsoka's droid. So you got the same numbers now. Now, if you get like a Clone Wars style clone armor Anakin in that set, amazing set, much better than this just in the minifigure department alone. But of course that's a $5 increase from this as well, which already doesn't feel worth it. So moving forward, of course I'm gonna take out the one in January because that's already decided, but moving forward, I think into the next however many years, these are going to be in that $40, $45 price. If we get into $50 Jedi Interceptors, we're in a bit of a interesting point. But I don't think the ships themselves provide enough substance, so I think it's very important that you improve in the minifigure department, and I don't think this one has that. I think the Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter did it well. It had the same number of characters, but I think it's a much better set when it comes to those minifigures. I think they're much more interesting, as well as well done, and providing an exclusive character like Tonwi. So I think moving forward, I think the best thing would do, of course, you provide the pilot, you provide the droid character that's associated with the build, and then I think you include some sort of exclusive character that you wouldn't have got otherwise. Of course, this isn't a great example. It's a one-off set. You're not going to see Rebuild the Galaxy sets in 5-10 years. This is it. These 3 sets, I would assume, are it. Maybe I'm totally wrong, and next summer we see another 3, but as it seems right now, I think this is sort of a one-off thing. I think this is a fine set for the special, but at its price, I definitely can't recommend it. If you're interested in Jedi Bob, wait for a sale, get it then. I've waited 23 years for this figure, or to get it again, and wait a couple more months when it's on sale. So thank you for watching this video. I think this is a fine Lego set, but I definitely can't recommend it at its regular prices. It just doesn't feel substantial enough for that. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.